Upton Stout.
That's a Goldberg-esque spear from Upton Stout.
Seeking missile. He identifies and flies to the football. The receiver had no chance to put a body on the body to block.
Another Hilltopper is league bound.
Yep, Upton Stout kept it 100 and is heading to the Bay.
Plus, we've got the first ever EPSIS Awards. Who will be our top honors?
It's sports done right. The extra point starts right now.
Are you kidding me, Dalvin?
Dug him with space inside the 10. Looks to break the tackle, and he breaks the end zone.
It will keep it on the ground with Wales. Not only will he get the first down, he'll get the touchdown and the championship.
Use it for Rogers for 3 for the win. Western Kentucky doesn't break.
The grass is red in Kentucky. Holy moly.
The Hilltoppers are champions of Conference USA.
Welcome into Studio 2, the home of the Extra Points. I'm Micah Henson.
And I'm Lydia Nathan. It's the final show of the semester, and while we look towards our own future, so does WKU's own Upton Stout. The star defensive back was the 100th overall pick in the NFL draft to the San Francisco 49ers. Look at these stats. Stout is the 9th highest drafted Hilltopper in program history.
Stout is the 4th consecutive Hilltopper selected in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft, making WKU the only Group of 5 program to achieve this feat. The answer is simple. Want to come to the league, go to the Hill. And we're talking about Upton Stout here, but I'm of course also talking to Travis Perry. Who cares about Maryland anyway? Come home. Come to Western Kentucky University.
Well, now, Micah, it's time to talk about the top 10 plays throughout the entire year. Coming in at number 10 on your screen right here at Liberty and WKU are off for the CUSA season title. Little bump action right there. Vanderbilt smacks it down, and then double trouble is coming, okay? Kennedy Coyle and Vanderbilt smack it down, not once, but twice right there for Western to secure the season title win.
Now towards number 9, this is a dynamic duo we saw during the football season. Veltkamp to Katie Hutchinson. He takes off, he evades all the defenders like I do with vegetables in the grocery aisle, takes it to the house.
Heck
and he takes it. We're going to look at this just one more time here as he throws it about 10 yards here to Katie Hutchinson, and he is off to the races like we saw, like we're going to see tomorrow at the Kentucky Derby. Takes it all the way to the touchdown, and this was a pretty sizable win for the WKU Hilltoppers.
It definitely was. Coming in number 8, number 0, dribbles it down the court, passes it to Meade, and then look at this foot action on here, Micah. I'm just so impressed by it. But you know what? I think the key was she was wearing pink shoes, and pink, you can do anything in pink. So powerful, it's just crazy. And there is that money shot right there.
Yeah, the pink shoe have to be doing with it. Now it's number 7, another dynamic duo, Don McHenry, Woo Marshall with the alley-oop. And we're going to see this just one more time as we see Don to Woo. We saw Cole Mack to Woo just earlier this semester. Which one's better? Who's to say?
You know, I don't know. I don't know, Micah, but coming in at number 6, Vandy and WKU are off, and Vandy hits it out over to right field. Little camera zoom in action right there. Not in our house, Ryan Weidman said. He jumped like a jackrabbit, caught it over the wall. Pretty awesome.
Now to number 5, Don McHenry yet again against Kentucky Wesleyan, and he crosses over the defender and then gets him to foul him and 1. And clean up on aisle 2. He celebrates that with his team as they went on to win this one also pretty sizably against Kentucky Wesleyan.
Now on to number 4. Y'all are going to want to make sure to watch this. It's going to come in fast. Midfield throw. Number 3 think he's going to get it, but nope. Devontae Matthews slips in peekaboo for that touchdown end zone.
Now to number 3, Macy Masters. We heard this name several times throughout these last couple of weeks. She golfs it out of here, just like the Masters, with Rory McIlroy into PS2, the 3rd floor of PS2. Absolutely golfs it out of there.
Crazy.
Home run. They also won this one 11-3 in that one as that home run.
Now number 2, this is what I call fluff and one. Tyler Olden passes New Mexico State's defense, hits it on the backboard, and drops it in. And I think he was really impressed with himself, and so were the fans. They were not expecting that, which I wasn't either.
Now we look towards number 1, Bayless with the game winner. This was pretty unanimous as he takes it all the way throughout the court, lays it up, and they beat La Tech. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, La Tech. Did I do that right, Tyler? I sure hope that you approve of that.
Yeah, bringing the energy right in here to Studio 2. Now, Pretty impressive for our Hilltopper athletics. But speaking of impressive, every year WKU hosts a Topsies, a ceremony honoring Hilltopper athletes and coaches for all their hard work throughout the year.
Extra Point Sports Director Kaylee Marksberry met with Kason Barton, who won the first ever Brett Chumley Grit Award. Take a look.
I am here with Kason Barton, the winner of the Hilltopper Grit Coach Chumley Award. Kason, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. How does it feel to win an award named after your late coach?
Honestly, it was very surprising. I didn't know that they were doing an award for him. But, you know, I grew to love him so much, and I'm so glad that I received it and that, you know, I was somebody that could embody the kind of person he was. You know, I love this team with my whole heart, and if I had more eligibility, I'd definitely take it. But unfortunately, this is my last season. But yeah, it feels amazing.
Absolutely. Well, you are so deserving of this award. Everybody is so proud of you. What is one moment tonight that you are not going to forget?
I think just being here with my team that, you know, I've been with. You know, obviously there's been people coming in and leaving over the years, but just being able to call ourselves, you know, teammates and members of the track and field team. I think just being here with everybody and being able to, you know, enjoy this night together.
Now it's time for us to reveal our own awards. It's the first annual EPSIs, Lydia.
Yes, no, I'm super excited. First off, with the Coach of the Year, it was a close matchup, but you know, Mark Raridan pulled out on top. Let's look at these. Third season here on the Hill, fifth best record in D1 higher in 2023. He has just really made his mark here on the Hill.
Yeah, he came from Iowa Western just 4 years ago. This is his third season, but this year looks to be the greatest as he went and started this season 20-1, the best start in program history by March 19th. And now we move on to the Team of the Year, which was pretty handily. Other than that baseball team
100%.
was pretty much the unanimous vote there.
Yes, women's golf team we thought were the best, you know, obviously won conference champs in the first time in 48 years in program history. Junior City Hackett won CUSA title. She was the second to do this for the Hilltoppers. Pretty freaking impressive.
Now we move back to the diamond with the Player of the Year.
No
this
brainer.
one also pretty unanimous. Ryan Weidman. He leads the team in batting average. He's done pretty well. He hit for the cycle against Southern Illinois just earlier this season. And, I mean, he might get drafted to the MLB draft in just a couple weeks to months.
No, absolutely. He is just too good for his own good. He's just too good.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was definitely the one that we definitely voted to be winning this award.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, we'll be talking about the tops on the diamond.
Yep. How did WKU softball and baseball teams fare this past week? We'll talk about it right after this short break, right here on the Extra Points.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. It's time to talk about Hilltopper baseball, and well, we're just going to ignore what happened last week.
It didn't matter.
We don't need to talk about that, but Kentucky, the Wildcats, came to the Nick, and pretty surprisingly, WKU came out on top.
Yes, very shocked, very surprised about that. But you know what? The grass is red here in Kentucky. 6-4 win, improving the Hilltopper season to 35-10. Rain delay didn't matter. Tops used that time to recollect their thoughts, get back in the game, and they pulled out on top.
Yeah, the rain delay really doesn't matter. I am talking to all Cleveland Guardians fans here. A rain delay doesn't matter. We're going to talk about the 2016 World Series. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The best team always comes out on top. And in this situation, the Hilltoppers were much better. They won this one 6-4. This is the first win for the Hilltoppers over a P4 opponent.
Yes, I want to talk about Reed Howard, he freshman, double to drive, first run of the game. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, Reed Howard, I mean, these aren't going to be the most impressive stats that we're going to show on the screen here. But Reed Howard with a pretty good outing. I mean, overall, we saw a situation where this was kind of a well-rounded team effort. 2 for 3 in the game, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 1 run, nothing like we saw with Ryan Weinman towards the beginning of the season against Southern Illinois. But this was a team all-around effort, though Reed Howard was definitely the best in this situation.
Well, against like a SEC team, you know, a big powerhouse like UK, pretty awesome.
Yeah, now we move on towards looking ahead towards the homestand against the La Tech Bulldogs. And this one, I'm not so sure about it. You're coming off a big win against Kentucky that we just talked about. But you look towards last weekend against FIU where they lost all 3, which is not very much of an effort that we saw throughout the season.
I think it's called rat poisoning. Nick Saban calls that when you have this big win and you play this small team, you just gotta get in your head. But maybe the Hilltoppers will pull it off. Let's look at these stats. La Tech is 26-17 overall, 11-6 in CUSA play. Breaking an even record on their game between Western. Don't really know. It's a toss-up on this one.
Yeah, I mean, La Tech doesn't look like the worst team in the conference. I mean, we're battling for 3rd place here, which the Hilltoppers should be playing for 2nd and 1st, in my opinion. But the Hilltoppers will be hosting it at the Nick, which they've only lost to 1 team at their home stadium. It was some team towards the south. They wear blue. Who really cares who they really lost to? But we look towards the keys to this game, and really neutralizing La Tech's offense is very key towards this, focusing on pitching and all that, and also capitalize on that home field advantage.
Yes, well, the Hilltoppers need to watch out for Trey Hossey. He's a 6'2 freshman, first baseman, true Louisiana boy from West Monroe. He's top 10 in the conference, 6-7 in the month of April, top 10, you know, in the conference, like I said, 1 home run versus AR Pine Bluff.
Yeah, he was 6 for 7 in the month of April. And now we switch over to the other diamond. They also played against FIU in Miami last weekend, but they had a little bit better of an outing there.
Yeah, they headed out to Miami, and they just, you know, it was a tie. I didn't know that they could tie down there, but you know what? They pulled it off.
Yeah, I didn't know you could get a tie, but you see it on there. They got that 1 tie. They had 2 wins in this one, but it's their 2nd straight series win, something that they haven't done very often in this season. Macy Masters, as we saw in the top 10, she's been doing exceptionally well, and she homered in that 3rd game, and not homered, but she got a single in that 3rd game, which brought in a run. And then we saw Rylan Smith. You see 2 graphics there. Rylan Smith threw 6.2 scoreless innings, and also leads the conference in strikeouts, looking at 38.
Yes, I also want to mention Annie Smith. She scored 2 more home runs in the 6th. Pretty awesome right there. But we need to go ahead and look at against the Jacksonville State coming up game. Micah, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this one like we saw with WKU baseball against La Tech. I'm not so sure about this one. I mean, it's going to be a situation where they are coming in with 2 straight series wins, so they've got the confidence behind them like we see with the baseball team against Kentucky. But I'm not so sure about this one because Jack State offensively looks pretty versatile across the board. Of course, they played West Georgia, a lower group of 5 program. They won 22-1 against them. 12 of those runs coming in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, and the last time that Western played Jack State, they were on top. It was a 4-0 margin, which is the largest victory margin for the Tops, and they have won 5 out of the last 8 times against Western. So Jack State is looking a little better, but maybe the Tops will pull out a win. We don't know yet.
Yeah, by the numbers, it looks like Jack State should be taking home this series win, but they're coming off 2 straight series wins, and this bullpen for WKU is pretty nice. It's not just Ryland Smith out there. They've got a versatile bullpen. Plus, you also talk about the discipline at the plate that WKU has had. They didn't have it so much against FIU, but they did kind of show a little bit of all across the season.
Absolutely, Michael. Well, speaking of diverse players, I want to take a look at Emma Elrod. She is very diverse. Look at these stats up here. Runs scored, hits, stolen bases. Team leader for this. I think she's definitely dominating in the team.
Yeah, they need to look out for her, and still to come, a heartwarming story about overcoming challenges.
That's right. Our own Ryan Murphy has a story when we come back.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here.
Wait.
What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
We welcome you back into Studio 2 in Lydia. Have you ever shot a bow?
You know, I was supposed to for class, but it just didn't work out. Honestly, I think it was a blessing because I probably would have poked my own eye out.
Yeah, I only did it for Boy Scouts. Unfortunately, I was in Boy Scouts. That's a little cringe there, as I've been told. But sports director Ryan Murphy met with one young man whose story you just might recognize.
This is the routine. Pull, set, shoot. But this routine looks a little bit different.
When I first started and he was on the team, I'm like, how is he supposed to shoot?
Well, there was definitely a lot of trial and error when it comes to how I actually shoot, because I actually use a mouse tab that I bite down and pull back with. So it was definitely a lot of trial and error, a lot of trying a bunch of different things. None of those sounded great.
It's a routine that Dylan Black has mastered, and every shot leaves a trail of inspiration.
I have been with Dylan Black for the last 3 years, and the guys that come up that knew him from Warren East, they're like, man, how's he doing? I'm like, you see for yourself. And every year he's done nothing but excelled and gotten better and better and better.
But it started 8 years ago when we spoke to him the first time.
I know where this is going.
My teacher had handed out a flyer that said archery tryouts tonight at 5:30 at the school. And so I'm just like,
I don't think I've ever actually seen this before.
I feel like after school I'm gonna go to the.
And that's even before I got my own personal bow. I was still shooting a school bow at the time.
Dylan has accomplished those dreams. A state champion, honored by his school district, and now Dylan is taking his shots to Kentucky Christian University.
It's so surreal, you know, because thinking back once again to even before that video was made, you know, it was just a, hey, I'm gonna give this a try, see if it's even possible. So to think that I've made it this far, to think that I've signed on to shoot in college is just, it's so surreal. That's the only way I can explain it.
He's capable of conquering the world if he wants to. And he has helped this team this year conquer many, many goals. So I don't know what else you could say about Dylan other than, dude, I can't wait to watch you grow and go on out into the world and see what happens from here on, you know.
Now look, listen.
What do you got? What
Dylan Black, remember that name, Lydia?
Absolutely.
What a remarkable story.
Definitely, just so inspiring, and you know, honestly, I got a little bit emotional there just because he's overcoming these challenges and not letting his obstacles get in the way of achieving his dreams.
I think it's great to be a part of this program that has been able to cover this story twice, when he was young and now when he's in all of his success.
Yes.
Through all the stuff he's gone through. It's really remarkable.
No, absolutely. And upcoming after the break, a team that is taking control of the game to the next level.
Reporter Eli Thompson has the story right here. Stay with us.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, how about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
One graduating senior has taken on both the role of coach and player.
Wow, that is crazy. Reporter Eli Thompson has more.
Video games. Casual for some, competitive for others. But for Parker Evans, it's a lifestyle.
Looking for blood. Looking for revenge.
Yeah,
with the R, and I'll tell you how this ends up.
No matter how busy he gets, he always resorts back to the same thing.
Community. I think there's nothing that can compare to showing up with 5 guys that like the same game as you and just to completely nerd out about it. And not only that, but just to improve at it. To all say like, hey, we're here for the same common goal, and that's to get better as a team.
Being here for 4 years, Evans has left an impact on this team.
He was good. He would always fill roles that we needed, and that you need a person like that, just someone just to fill. And he's the same thing as coach. We need a coach. He stepped up.
He's just a fun guy to be around. He knows how to like be
serious when he needs to be, and then also joke around.
Evan's drive for success was there from the beginning.
So I wanted to make sure that all the players here knew that, like, if you have a question, not even about esports, if you have a question about school, about life, just anything like that, like these are the people you should feel comfortable asking.
The end goal? Make it better than anyone could have ever imagined.
We could have one of the best esports programs, not only in the state, but in the nation. Us playing UK is not a competition. It's a we show up and do whatever we want and win kind of day. I do think the Fieldhouse is a great step in the right direction, but I hope that the Fieldhouse isn't the end of it. I hope that the Fieldhouse is the start of it, and then 5-10 years down the line, other universities are coming to our school to compete in in-person tournaments and having those legendary moments that you can't have anywhere else.
For the extra point, I'm Eli Thompson.
There's some gold grubs going over. We have 2 bounties now.
Coming up, your favorite segment is back in action.
That's right. This week's Delay of Game features a variety of topics from a GOAT debate to Kentucky's Olympics and is the sky really blue?
We'll be here, so stay tuned.
Grab your earmuffs. It's gonna be some yelling.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
It is now time for almost 30 straight minutes of delay of game. As a reminder, each dog will have 30 seconds to argue their own points without interruption before duking it out on each topic. First up, other than the best wide receiver going to the Packers in Matthew Golden, who was the steal of this year's draft? We'll start with you, Sean.
It's going to be a quarterback, and it's Jalen Milroe from Alabama. All right, he played at the best football program in the country and was the only quarterback to go through a coaching change at Alabama in who knows how long. 20 rushing touchdowns in 2024. He can run the ball so well. He's the best rusher that the NFL draft has probably seen since Lamar Jackson. He played against the best teams in college football in the SEC. 71 touchdowns in his last 26 games, which for a quarterback I kind of hope, especially if you're playing at the best school in the country. But it just shows that Jalen Milroe can transition to the NFL level in the Seahawks' creative offense. He should be able to get some opportunities to run the ball in his first season.
Yeah, every NFL team seems to want a dual threat quarterback at this point. Will, who'd you got?
Running back. The Ken is a dual threat running back. Cam Scattaboo from Arizona State. He carried the Sun Devils last season, rushed for 1,711 yards, 21 touchdowns, almost 6 yards a carry. He also had 45 receptions for 605 yards. It's New York, the Giants. They haven't had a good quarterback since Eli Manning, and that's saying a lot. So they're going to need to run the ball, and I think he's the guy that's going to be able to do that. Unlike Jalen Milroe last year, he did play in the college football playoff and proved that he has that dog in him. Going all after every snap, he'd go on the sideline, puke, come back, run the ball for 7 yards, do it again. I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, both reliable. Who do you guys have? Let's duke it out.
I mean, you know, like he can puke all he wants on the field. Like it doesn't matter. That's not what's going to make him a great football player. You know.
When was the last time Alabama had a quarterback that was truly successful other than Jalen Hurts? But I claim Oklahoma for
him. I mean, Jalen Hurts counts, but like they've never had a dual threat that's really come out. I mean, Bryce Young, I feel like he's gotten kind of, you know, just pushed to the side.
No, we all know how that is.
I totally forgot about him, so you know.
Yeah. I feel like Seahawks are a successful organization, so I think Jalen Milroe could see some success there.
All right, next we look towards the other end of that question. Who went too early and was the biggest reach? Sean?
Shamar Stewart, edge rusher, Texas A&M. This guy is very athletically gifted, but he sucks at his job. 4.5 sacks through his last 3 seasons, all right? 4.5 sacks, that's 1.5 sack in every single season. That's not good, all right? You're playing SEC level. That means you're playing against the top talent already. When you transition to the NFL level, Shamar Stewart's not going to find success. And he went to the Bengals. When you look at their first-round history of drafting edge rushers, they're all terrible. They've never panned out. Shamar Stewart's just going to end up the same exact way. And, you know, athleticism does not equate equal production. So, I don't know.
All right, Will, who you got?
I'm riding with the New York Football Giants again and Jackson Dart. He was ranked 131 out of all prospects in the NFL draft, and this guy went 25th. Not only that, they traded up to get him at 25th. How he played at Ole Miss does not translate to the NFL. It doesn't even translate in college football. I mean, they lost to Kentucky, who had 1 win in the SEC last year, and it was to that Ole Miss team somehow, led by Jackson Dart, who's going to be the next Eli Manning, according to the New York Giants. The good news is he backs up Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, so he'll learn how to throw more balls to the other team. But, Micah.
Would you say the only relatable thing between Eli Manning and Jackson Dart is that they both went to Ole Miss?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Eli Manning has a couple rings on his fingers. Maybe Jackson Dart gets married. That's the only way he gets a ring on his finger.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart, trading back up into the first round is just not the greatest strategy. But Shamar Stewart, I just don't think, he doesn't get sacks, and he's not the greatest run stopper.
But it is the Bengals. And other than Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, who are they good at drafting? Money Mack, who has missed several kicks as of late. I don't know. But they're both bad teams. Can we agree that they both suck at drafting?
Yeah, they both suck at drafting.
All right, now we are on to the final round of this round of Delay a Game. There were many quarterbacks taken in this year's draft, but which one found themselves in the best situation? We'll start with you again, Sean.
I'm going to go with Will Howard from Ohio State. All right, this guy just won a national championship. This is national championship pedigree. He has the experience. All right, Mason Rudolph is the current starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has not produced at the NFL level ever. All right, he got hit over the head with the helmet by Myles Garrett, and, that kind of is just a career killer. Will Howard has the opportunity to come in here and start from day one with DK Metcalf and George Pickens, 2 of the NFL's best wide receivers. All right, they produce at elite levels, and Mike Tomlin knows how to win. He's gone to the playoffs who knows how long, but they always lose, and Will Howard's just going to be another quarterback that can get to the playoffs and lose in the playoffs.
All right, Sean. Yeah. Great point, Micah. Who do you got?
Yeah, in all reality, I think I'm going to have to go with, Curtis Rourke. He was on a great Indiana team, and he got drafted in both the NFL and CFL, so he has choices. But let's think logically here. Shedeur Sanders, not the greatest quarterback, but he's in a quarterback of all time. He's got 4 quarterbacks in front of him. 2 are veterans, and Pops, he's going to make the league soon as a coach. And practice squad ain't that bad. I mean, we've seen many backup quarterbacks that have gone many years into the NFL and made millions of dollars. I mean, who wouldn't? Who would want to be into the NFL and making millions of dollars to do absolutely nothing?
Right.
I mean, yeah, Shedeur might come in the game and he might kneel out a few wins.
Kurt Becker did that for years. I mean, I think he's like a Twitch streamer now, but he made millions of dollars just to get drafted and go in place for Aaron Rodgers and go kneel out the game, and he gets to do whatever he wants now.
Right. I mean, Shedeur and Will Howard, they both might get to kneel out a few games together. I mean, who knows?
He did go to Ohio State. He can't be that good. I mean, go blue for absolutely anybody that actually supports the OSU Buckeyes. Yeah. So don't go anywhere. Will make a reappearance, and with a pro gamer and arch rival Gus right here on EP.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. We've got Will and Gus for another thrilling round for even more delay of game. Rules are still the same. That still include you may not talk over each other during their 40 seconds, something both these guys know extremely well and totally will abide to. Yeah, right. First time this round, we will speak about one of the most discussed topics in for the NFL. Who's better, Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady? Gus,
I'm not taking the guy that was carried by a top 20 defense or offensive line for 20 years of his career. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. Every year he's been a starter in the NFL. He's made either a conference championship or a Super Bowl, 3 rings and 3 Super Bowl MVPs to his name, along with 2 NFL MVPs. He's already got a better career than most Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Dan Marino, we don't talk about him anymore. Troy Aikman, we're done with the 90s. He got carried by Emmitt Smith anyways. Dare I say, Terry Bradshaw? No, it's Patrick Mahomes. And before, I know this guy is going to say, oh, Tom Brady's got 7. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes isn't even done yet, buddy.
Okay.
I don't even need all
that. That is a take of all time. Will, what you got?
Well, I'll do what I usually do. Patrick Mahomes,
right.
That's fine, yeah. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowl titles, 5 Super Bowl MVPs. That's funny. 3 MVP awards. When you talk about the greatest of all time, you talk about 3 people.
Stop talking.
3 people. 3 people. 1,
Stop
Michael Jordan. Number 2, Michael Phelps. Number 3, Tom Brady. Those are the 3 people. And you know what he did that Patrick Mahomes can never do? He beat Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is never going to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
I got a double steak burger with a small fry.
That's cute. You know, we've argued for 50 times. You've probably done that 49 of them.
Yeah, and I've got the bag now, and this is symbolic because when you graduate,
you're
going to go work at Burger King or Steak and Shake. You are going to be calling out my number. You're going to be calling out my number at DSU. I got a double steak burger and fries. Number 27. This is you, buddy.
All right. Hey, all right.
His rebound boss. Back out to Allen. Next topic, buddy.
Next, we're speaking about the 2 legends beside me. But who's most destined to make their way into law school as the better arguer and best delay of game participant? Surely Gus will pick himself, right?
I mean, yeah. It's a foregone conclusion at this point. Why would I not pick myself? I mean, this guy's going to grad school. He doesn't even know what he wants to do. I mean, he might go to law school for a couple of years and flunk out like Spencer from Mike Harley did and do something else. Oh, who found that picture? Oh, my God, that is a blast from the past. Oh, my. Did you find my tax numbers, too?
No, SoundCloud.
Oh, yeah, that was way back in the day. But, yeah, I am the better delay gamer. Obviously, the record speaks for itself. And the bag also symbolized everything. Buddy, put the fries in the bag. I gave it to you, but you threw it away. I don't know if you're scared that that's your career. That's what your career is going to be after this. You unemployed rat?
Rats. All right, Will.
Well, that was
Rats, go ahead.
A lot of nonsense. Let's compare our resumes if we want to go with that route. But I'll talk about just delay of game. What team went to a state championship in basketball this year? The Bowling Green Purples. I said that. What team won a state title in football this year? Bowling Green Purples, not South Florida.
Is that Will
I said
Gerber or
that.
serial killer?
What team that was in the play-in is still playing right now? The Golden State Warriors. I said that. That looks like a normal person. That looks like something that would actually be up on a website. Oh, it is on a website. It is actually on a website.
This guy was a normal man.
It is on a website.
And then he murdered a
I see why you grow the beard.
All right,
now. I see why you have the beard. I see why
you see why I have the beard? Yeah, I mean, I look better than you.
I don't know about that. I don't need a beard.
I don't need the beard either. I don't need
beards are nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 2 against 1. How's it feel?
There's another loss. This is what, 12 now?
12? That's funny.
0 and 12? Jesus, buddy, you're like the Buffalo Bills.
Wow. The Buffalo Bills. All right. Now we're going to transition into the final
Yeah,
round.
the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it's the topic that may change how you perceive life as it is. The biggest controversy of all time. The debates to conquer all debates. Gus, is the sky blue?
This is the granddaddy of them all, and I'm going to have to say that you all aren't going to like my take, but you're going to have to respect it because you're going to have to look at science, not silence. You're going to be silent after this. But the sky is not blue, contrary to popular belief. It is indeed violet. It looks blue because our eyes suck. They are not good. The light sensitivity decreases, which makes us see it as blue. Don't argue with science. Don't do that, because you're just going to look stupid. I don't even need the rest of the time.
Delusion is a great
It's
vibe
not
on you,
delusion,
Gus.
it's
Go
science,
ahead,
Bubba.
Will.
You know what? I've been right a lot.
You're still wrong.
11 or 12 times. This is the
more
one
like
time.
one or
You're
two.
right. I agree with you.
Wait, hold on a second.
The sky's violent.
Hold on.
The sky's
I
violent.
know I'm not supposed to talk. But
The sky's
He's
violent.
agreeing
Will
with you. I
Gerber-
don't care.
Is Will Gerber agreeing with
The
me?
sky is violent.
You are agreeing
Maybe
with me
we're wrong.
that the
Maybe
sky is
science
violent.
is wrong. Yeah,
You
the
are
sky's
agreeing with me.
violent.
Okay,
The sky's
am I
violent.
supposed to argue this
I
now?
will.
Take
Is it
that
clear?
down.
No.
You were told that
The
to
sky
behave.
is blue.
Yeah,
The
we're
sky-
behaving.
We are keeping it civil.
We're talking
I
to
don't
each
care.
other.
I don't
We're
want
talking.
civility. I don't want it to be civil.
It is violent.
I don't
Why
care.
don't you
Hey,
want it to
guys,
be civil?
guys,
You want us to yell at each
No,
other?
take that
Because we're going to
graphic.
get yelled at in the
Take that
control room for
graphic.
yelling at us.
Looks like our eyes are
We
bad.
can't talk
Give
over
me
you,
the
Micah.
graphic. Give me the
Light
graphic.
sensitivity.
What
decrease.
graphic?
It's
What
way
graphic?
too
What
short.
graphic? There's no need for
Don't
that.
argue
Here
with
is
the
going
science
to
behind
Don't argue with the science.
explain how the
Don't
sky is
argue
blue.
with science.
All right,
It's
my
violent.
eye has
I
shorter
just
white
gave
eyes
you the reason
than
why it is
others.
violent. Do you want me to yell you?
I am a
Pop this balloon.
Oh, no. Hey.
It's violent. He missed.
Pop, give me those.
Give me it.
He missed.
No.
He missed.
No.
Oh, one more.
Oh,
Bumped
it is
again.
What?
Bumped
Oh my
again by
God.
James.
Oh my goodness.
Give me the balloon.
Can you just hand it to the kid?
Yes.
It took you how many times to pop that? Is this
6
what?
tries.
Just a few.
One thing's for certain, we know how to pop a balloon, right, guys?
I was about to say
How
we
does
don't
this
know a
turn
lot.
on me? How does this
I know
turn on
how
me?
to cut
Okay.
papers. I know how to pop
All right.
balloons.
Turn off your mics. And,
Okay.
and you thought we were done. We were just getting started. It's not just with these two. Extra points, sweethearts, Hannah and Addie. Join us for some girl power hot topics. Stay with us.
I'm American.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Well, thanks for sticking with us. We are back with Hannah and Addie to talk some more important topics because boys are sneaky. First, horse racing. The Kentucky Oaks is a part of the Kentucky Derby. Many don't know that this competition is for the fillies, the girl horses who are 3 years old. So, who are your picks? Addie, I'm going to start with you.
Yes, I'm taking Take Charge Milady. She has 12-1 odds, so a little bit of a long shot, but not too far. That's usually what I go for because the payoff is higher. The last time out, she took second in the Ashland Stakes, and I think that extra bit of a mile could really be the difference on the track at Churchill. Take Charge Milady is represented by the same pair that won both the Oaks and the Derby last year. I was listening to her trainer, Ken McPeak, talk about the jockey that's going to be racing on her. And he said that you don't tell Picasso how to paint. He really lets his jockey go out there and take charge on the course, and I think that's what makes the difference is that faith and that connection that they have, and they've proved they can do it. They did it twice last year, so it's not a long shot to think it could happen again.
Yeah. You know, it is possible, but Hannah, I want to hear your side.
All right, well, I'm not typically one to pick favorites, but I think the stats you kind of have to. My pick is going to have to be Good Cheer. The fillies' odds right now are 6-5. She's owned by Godolphin, which is one of the leading owners and breeders in the country right now, and is trained by Brad Cox, who is one of the top trainers in the country. He is a 2-time Kentucky Oaks winner. You know, she stands out as one of the top contenders. You know, and I talked about on News Channel 12, just the track conditions are going to be so different. It's going to be wet, it's going to be sloppy. Good Cheer has winning experience on a wet track, and so I think that kind of puts her at a little bit more of an advantage. But one thing that I've looked at is she is currently 6 for 6 in her races right now. She's unbeatable, and so I think that she will probably carry that into the Oaks as well.
You know what? Stats don't lie, so I might have to side with Hannah, especially the name too is so joyful. But
I know.
I'm gonna let y'all hash this out.
Okay, here's my rebuttal.
Okay.
Stats can lie. Brad Cox has had the favorite in the Oaks. This is the 3rd year in a row. Both of those last 2 favorites didn't even finish on the board, so it's not a long shot to say that that could happen again.
Yeah.
You know, 3rd time could be a charm. You can't rule anything out. Me and Hannah were talking before this about the fact that we can't argue the same way that Gus and Will can about these things.
Sorry we're not as entertaining. Sorry we're not as entertaining. But yeah, especially when it comes to Derby and Oaks, it could honestly go any way. I said it earlier, you know, Rich Strike won in 2022 with 81 odds, you know, so you never know. But for me personally, I'm going to have to go with Good Cheer. You know, her speed, her agility, her versatility, all the things, I think puts her as the Oaks pick. But again, like we said, it could go any way, so who knows?
Well, good points, ladies. Our next debate is our Derby picks. So, Addie, you had the last one. Hannah, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. So my pick is going to be Sovereignty. His morning line odds are at 5-1 right now. He is sired by Into Mischief, who is the top sire in the country right now. He's trained by Bill Mott, who is an experienced Derby-winning Hall of Fame trainer. But I was talking to Addie, I think where fate comes into play a little bit here. Trainer Bill Mott won the Derby in 2019 with Country House, and even though he did not cross the finish line first, Maximum Security was disqualified for interference, which put Country House as the winner. Country House was post position number 18. So guess who is post position number 18 this year? Sovereignty. So I think that that's a little bit of fate that Bill Mott has had. His 2 Derby horses were post position 18. But hopefully this year, Sovereignty actually crosses the finish line first and doesn't win by disqualification, but we'll see. Yeah, by default.
We have to see. Addie, what do you think?
All right, I have to admit it. I'm a sucker for the names. I'm not super educated about horses, even being from Louisville. So I go for the names. Guess what the favorite this year's name is? Journalism.
Wow.
This should be something we can look at, you guys.
I love journalism.
3-1 morning line favorite, won the Santa Anita Derby. And I really like the post that he drew. He's at post 8, which has an above average win rate of almost 10% in the Derby. And this really helps reduce the risk of getting caught in those early traffic issues. The difference with the Derby that you hear people talk about all the time is it is such a big field. There are so many horses that are racing, and this is something that most of these horses haven't really been challenged in this way before heading to Churchill. So having that big of a field, getting a good post position can really be the difference in if you get caught in that early traffic and never really get a chance to make that big push towards the end.
Yeah.
No, I think that's excellent points too. And I just feel so bad for the horses that are just like shoved in last minute. They don't have time to prepare. And I'm just like, dang, but you know, it's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports ever. And you know, being Kentucky girls ourselves, it's very exciting to watch. But here's our final delay game segment. So sorry, we're not going to actually talk about that. We're going to talk more about Derby because Derby's so cool. Are you all going
I'll say
to
I have more to say about sovereignty, by the way. I'll say we never got the actual argument yet.
Back and forth.
Even though it's not a real argument. But again, going off of sovereignty, and I keep talking about it, but I think that it's so important to talk about, especially for this year's Oaks and Derby, is the track conditions. Sovereignty has experience and has won on wet tracks, just like Good Cheer, my Oaks pick. And also Sovereignty has won at Churchill Downs before. And if we're gonna talk about a little bit of arguing, because this is delay of game, you have to try to prove someone wrong at least. Journalism's never raced at Churchill Downs. Sovereignty has, and Sovereignty has won on a wet track. And so I think that gives Sovereignty a little bit more of an upper hand, but again, journalism's 3-1 odds right now, so literally, it's not much I can say to argue this. Honestly, I can try, but I'm just pulling things out at this point.
Yeah, well, with Sovereignty, you talked a lot about, kind of that fate moment of drawing the same post, and I also think that, if you're going to say Sovereignty's, chance to win is left up to fate, I'd also say his chance to lose is left up to fate. Sovereignty is a deep closer and really has to rely on luck to an extent, especially when we're talking about a big track. So if he can get out early and not get jammed in the pack and be able to have the room to make that push, I think Sovereignty stands a chance.
I do think that
you know what, ladies, we're gonna have to handle this outside of the show. Our final delay game segment of the semester might make you laugh a little bit. What professor would be the best jockey? Addie?
I don't think there is any other answer besides Brad Franger. You guys have seen him in the studio making last-minute changes, quick adjustments. He can stay cool under pressure. I remember right before the homecoming show, we needed some lights added last minute. It was like 5 minutes till showtime. Brad runs in, gets him, sets him up, and is acting so chill the entire time. You would never know we're about to go on. I think that is what you need in a jockey. When I was doing research for this, I looked up best traits in a jockey. Brad, check, 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 check. So that's how I went with them. Brad's also adventurous. You got to be a little bit of a, adrenaline junkie to want to be a jockey. It's dangerous. It's scary. And I think Brad would fit the bill for that.
Yeah.
I see your point. He's very quick on his feet. Yes. And I feel like a jockey should be. And he's kind of the right, height, maybe. So
maybe a little too tall. But.
Yeah, I like your pick a little bit better because it fits the height range.
Yeah, if there's anyone who could make a smooth transition from the classroom to being a jockey, I think it's Ryan Dearbone. Listen, he's got the patience to pace a horse just right, not rush things. He knows exactly when to make a move.
This picture
he keeps such a tight control on the classroom. I was telling Addie earlier that I watched him kick someone out of his classroom for checking their phone one time, and so that is someone that knows how to take command. And so I think if he has good grip on the reins of his classroom, I think that he would also as a jockey. Let's be real. Also, he is an athlete. In the wise words of Gage Shear, as we all know, he's a dog. I'm not going to bark like him, but he's a dog. So I don't know. I just think that he's an athlete. He's got all the necessities to be a good jockey.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to let y'all hash this out. Maybe do a little rock, paper, scissors between the professors after this. But what a year we have had coming up. We are here on the Extra Point. Oh, and the money. Oh, the money. Oh, wow. This is the money that will not be spending at the Kentucky Derby because it is fake. But next, we're going to talk about the memorable moments. It's going to be bittersweet.
That was so unexpected.
Bring it.
Where did you all get that?
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry. I'll see you later.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
As another school year comes to a close, we reminisce on some of our favorite moments.
Grab your popcorn and seniors, grab your tissue boxes. Let's roll the tape.
This was a year of
pressure. Dubs.
And here at the Extra Point, we've shown you the highlights and stories behind every snap, pass, touchdown, bucket, dribble, pitch. It didn't matter. We were there with you.
So excited to be back for another hour of local sports coverage.
We gave you our hot takes.
Well, playoff right now, I'm telling you, Army's going to be in the college playoff.
Flaming hot takes.
Look, I'm looking right here. Do not take this camera off of me. Clinton County will win in Rupp Arena.
Yikes.
Gabe's like, chop, chop, chop.
Show them shorts, LJ. What you got on?
Hey, you know what? You sometimes.
He's got some lipstick
hey,
shorts on. This guy's
because
trying to talk
sometimes,
sports
hey,
with lipstick.
Tennessee is gonna kiss Kentucky tonight. After that win, I'm gonna tell you right now, they gonna kiss them.
We've taken you to practices with legends and guys who love the camera.
Quit filming me.
Sorry, Coach. We took you to the sidelines for the big moments in big games with big-time athletes. We took you through the vault for important moments in Hilltopper history.
One running into the end zone. He's here. He has won the game. On September 15, 2012, the grass is red in Kentucky. Holy moly!
Over 500,000 views just this semester, tripling the amount of followers across all social platforms this school year. But it all started here because of this team, this community, and this program.
Cool. Any questions?
It's been a great year, and that's
Yes,
all the
it
time
has.
we have. As always, one last time, it's up and it's good.